Hello, g'day everyone. This is Phoenix Oz, and I'm continuing the tank profile series on the German Panzerkampfwagons. Today it is on the Panzer II. Development of the Panzer II started in 1934 due to the delays in the proposed Panzer III and IV and the need of replacing the already obsolete Panzer I. The Panzer II was different in the initial phase to the Panzer I as it contained a pre-series. Can be identified by small letters in the designation, which was the Panzer IIA, 2B, and 2C, not to be confused with the main production models, which have capitalized letters. The A variant was divided into sub-variants containing a cast idler wheel with a rubber tire, soon replaced by a welded idler, on the A1. Minor engine improvements on the A2, and improved suspension and cooling on the A3. The B variant received a muchly improved suspension, new wider tracks, a Maybach HL62TR petrol engine with a new drivetrain. The new features had also increased the hull length to 4.76 meters from 4.38 meters, and the total weight was now 7.9 tons instead of 7.6 tons. The last of the pre-series, the C variant, now incorporated a different suspension with 5 independent leaf-sprung road wheels and 4 return rollers instead of 3. This again increased the length to 4.81 meters and the width to 2.22 meters. Experience on the pre-series led to the main production models of A, B, and C models. Using the A model as an example, the Panzer II was a larger and better equipped Panzer I with an extra crew member, the loader/operator, radio operator. With the addition of a loader, this decreased the task that plagued the commander, and with a radio operator, it greatly improved the efficiency of the Panzer II to communicate with other tank units. The 3-man crew turret and the radio equipment was soon to be copied by other nations in the future. The Panzer II armament was upgraded to a KW-K30 20mm autoloader, converted version of the Flak 30 anti-aircraft cannon, with a firing rate of 600 rounds a minute, and had a better armor-piercing characteristics than the Panzer I's machine guns due to its higher velocity and higher caliber weapon. As experience showed of the Panzer I from the Spanish Civil War, the Panzer II incorporated 14.5mm of front and side armor, which made it bulletproof and shrapnel-proof, but was soon to be found inadequate against modern AT weapons. Excluding the pre-series and the Panzer II's production model spectrum ranged from the Panzer IIA to the Panzer IIM, excluding the I and K models. The main variants of the Panzer II was the Marder II, the Wesp, Flamingo, and Bison. The Marder II was a converted tank destroyer based on the hull of the Panzer II, using the captured Russian 76mm AT gun or the German Pak 40 75mm gun in a fixed position with a limited traverse. Only 744 units were built by 1944 and served the end of World War II. The Wesp, or Wasp in English, was a light self-propelled artillery motor carriage carrying a light field howitzer 18 to 10.5 cm howitzer. The Wesp's first combat engagement was at the Battle of Kursk and was considered very effective. 682 units were built between 1942 and 1943. The Flamingo was a converted flame tank with a redesigned turret housing a single machine gun and 2 remotely controlled flamethrowers in small turrets in the hull, fed by 320 litres of fuel and propelled by 4 tanks of compressed nitrogen. By 1942, 155 units had been converted and mostly served on the Russian front. The second Bison was based upon a modified Panzer II hull, as it was found that 150mm SIG.
5
infantry howitzer was too heavy for the Panzer I's hull. The Bison received a steel superstructure enough to protect the crew against small arms and shrapnel, but still left the sides and rear exposed. 12 were eventually built between November and December of 1941. The Panzer II's first serious combat engagement was during the Polish invasion in 1939, where they were effective against many Polish tankettes. The Panzer II's losses mainly came from the infantry AT rifles and the 7 TP tanks, showing the Germans that the 14.5mm armor was not enough against modern weapons. Out of a total of 1,223 units deployed in Poland, 83 tanks were lost, 32 around Warsaw. When the Germans invaded Norway, the Panzer II didn't face much opposition as the Norwegians were ill-equipped to fight a modern mechanized army. The French did, however, land 2 independent tank battalions of Hotchkiss 35-39, totaling 30 units, but never faced any German tanks. Nonetheless, only 2 Panzer IIs were destroyed. During the French campaign, the losses suffered from the Polish campaign had worried the German tank crews driving the Panzer II, as the French army was better equipped in terms of tanks and AT weapons. However, the French army used old tactics and combined with the refined tactics of the Blitzkrieg mitigated the mistakes made, thus enabled the effective use of the Panzer II's speed and maneuverability, which is one of the factors that produced a Dunkirk and soon after the capitulation of France. Up until Operation Barbarossa, the Panzer II's speed and maneuverability proved to be successful on the battlefield, outclassing the slow and old tactics the Allies used. Without proper use of the Panzer II, it may not have been effective in battle due to being vulnerable to the superior firepower the Allies possessed throughout World War II. But the Germans made the most of the Panzer II. Thank you for listening to my new video, my Panzer II video. My alias is Phoenix Oz. A like and subscribe will help you guys receive better quality content, and thank you for continuing to support my channel.